Hello everybody, just wanted to do a quick update about Bitcoin, of course. It's doing an epic bull run, but first I'm just a crypto enthusiast. I'm not an expert, I'm not an investment banker or somebody you should follow, so please do not invest any money you cannot afford to lose. This is not investment advice, it's just my views about Bitcoin and what it's going to do in the future. Okay. Well, if you might have noticed, Bitcoin is doing some crazy stuff lately. This is the full chart for Bitcoin, starting 2013, from almost nothing to almost $1,200. And people said it crashed. Well, it's not that way in my opinion, but of course it's crashed. And recently now it's going absolutely, straight up. There are several reasons for this, of course, but I'd like to show that it's not just a crazy fake push-up, because there's new things in Bitcoin right now. By the way, I wanted to show you also, in euro, Bitcoin has already surpassed the all-time high. This is also because the euro has lost some value, according to the dollar. So the euro is less strong, so the Bitcoin versus euro amount is even bigger. So the euro is already at an all-time high and staying there at the moment. As you can see, it's getting close to the $1,000, at which point I expect some crazy stuff. If that happens, it will go to the media probably. It will be big news and probably a lot of new investors step in, and then it will be very exciting if it can break the all-time new high, of course. So why is this not another bubble that will just crash immediately? It could be, of course, I don't know, but there are some very big differences from November of 2013. First of all, this is the Bitcoin unique addresses from the start. This is 2013, this is the bubble here, about here, and as you can see, it's just a steady rise. It's just growing. The number of an address is basically a wallet, a unique number. Of course, it's possible that a lot of people have a lot of addresses. You can have as many as you want. So this does not mean Bitcoin users exactly, but it is a good signal about how many users of Bitcoin there will be, or there are. And it's a rising trend, and it's rising really fast. So Bitcoin usage is going up. This is also represented in the transactions. This is also from the start, so how many Bitcoins transactions are there? And this is growing very fast as well. And this trend is just undeniable. So Bitcoin is more being used more, it's adapted more. Well, another thing you can see is the market capitalization. So the amount of Bitcoins times the price. And as you can see, if I go to all time, this was the bubble, this was the big crash, and we passed that already, as you can see. This is because the dollar is more strong, so the dollar is worth more than it was in end of 2013. But there's more reason for this rise, because it's more used more, it's more evolved more, there's more technological backing behind this price. Also, there's a lot of new technologies inside of Bitcoin now. Stuff like the Lightning networks being developed. SegWit is on its way, probably. I hope so. SegWit will allow Bitcoin to scale better, to have a lot more transactions with less data. And it will provide a lot more new features to Bitcoin that are very exciting for the future. So it's not just better price and better usage, it's also better technology. And it's more evolved now. It's changed. The Bitcoin now is not the same Bitcoin as it was in 2013. Another reason is, of course, the global crises. In China, they're devaluing the yuan, which is forcing Chinese people to find places to put their money where they can invest and not lose it, because their own yuan is getting less valuable. Gold and silver are not doing well at all with Trump now, and they expected gold to go up, but it went really down. So gold and silver are not very good, attractive investments at the moment. So this is the result in Venezuela, for instance, where the inflation is really big. They have 100 banknotes are cancelled as legal tender. So imagine you have a lot of money, and suddenly the country just says to you, well, those are not valid anymore. Your money's gone. Well, this is what happens. People will search for other ways, and some people, not a lot, but some, will find Bitcoin. That's also why I'm bullish on it. The world is getting more used to the internet, to online, to apps. People are not as scared of it anymore like they were in 2013. If you would mention then that you had Bitcoin, some cryptocurrency, it was weird and strange, and that's changing, I think. And it's proven its value now. I mean, as on Bloomberg it says, Bitcoin's rally crushed every other currency. Almost 80% gain, and that's a lot more actually right now. And it's better than anything. It's better than gold. It outperformed the S&P, gold, Russian ruble. So the big guys, the big investors will see this as well, and they will start to put their money here at some point. This is going to happen, and when that happens, when the big boys will start adding Bitcoin, well, good times ahead. Imagine, because this seems like a lot, right? $14 billion. It's not big. It's not a lot. It's less than Apple. It's for a currency, right? It's rising fast and growing, and there's a big future, I think. So the question is, of course, is it too late to invest in Bitcoin? Well, CNBC even had an article about it, and even they are not talking anymore about Bitcoin as if it is some little strange currency for criminals on the web, and it's a bad investment. No, he compares it to oil, and he says it could go really, really many times up. So the main media is starting to pick it up as well. And finally, I'd like to show you this one. It's a really nice article, Bitcoin 2017, a currency devaluation hedge for emerging markets. Vinnie Lingham, who's a famous Bitcoin evangelist, he predicted some really cool stuff. Well, he's saying for next year 2,000, 3,000 per Bitcoin. 3,000 probably by the end of next year. It could be way more. You never know. So, in my mind, this will go way up. It's still a buy here. It's of course very risky. Bitcoin can and will drop. So if you decide to buy Bitcoin, in my opinion, you just buy it and hold it. Don't look at the price too much. Just hold it for a few years and see where it's at that point. You will probably be really happy, I think. But only buy Bitcoin with money you can lose. Don't invest and thinking it's a guarantee. It's not. It's absolutely not. But it could go really, really big. Remember, Bitcoin, there will only be 21 million Bitcoins ever. It's not possible to make more. There are about 16, 17 million right now, and the rest will be created in the future over the coming 100 years. But that's slowing down every 4 years. So every 4 years it becomes twice as difficult to create new Bitcoins. So that's basically an inflation system. But unlike, for example, gold, if gold price goes up, the companies that mine gold will simply mine more because it's more valuable. And that drops the price again. For Bitcoin, that doesn't work. For Bitcoin, actually, if the price goes up, it's not easier to make more Bitcoin. So the price will just go up, but the supply stays the same. The price will go up, the demand will go up, but the supply will stay the same, or rise very little, and that will make it even bigger. So Bitcoin is pretty amazing. Other cryptos as well, but for me, Bitcoin is now the main focus. Keep an eye on it. If you want to buy, go ahead, but don't risk it. Maybe wait for a small dip if it comes. But yeah, great times ahead. Thank you.